adventure, sports, outdoors. With host Harry Canterbury.
There I was, back in the wild again, and I felt right at home where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again, just like it happened so many times before.
Hello, I'm Pat Sullivan for Adventure Sports Outdoors, filling in for Harry Canterbury for this winter month. I got our good friend Gary Zwicky. He does a lot of ice fishing with us, a lot of fishing with us, and we're getting ready to go ice fishing. So stay right there for another good show of Adventure Sports Outdoors.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Eastport Marina, one of the only marinas in its class between Chicago and St. Louis, on Mariners Way in East Peoria. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. And by Lori Feld of Allstate Insurance at their new East Peoria location, 411 East Washington Street, next to the U.S. Post Office, on the corner at the bottom of Springfield Road Hill. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.
Hey, I'm Pat Sullivan. We're going to have a great show today. We have Gary Zwicky with us, who Gary and I do a lot of ice fishing together, and some other friends. We'll be meeting them later on today. But we like to ice fish. We like to get that good, clean fish right out of the pond and cook them, and they seem to be a firmer, healthier fish coming out of the ice. We're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about, because every year you hear of somebody going under, and you don't want to be that person. I've been under once, and you don't want to be there. Luckily, we had the safety ropes and stuff ready for us, and a couple of our kids were very good at pulling us out.
Well, that's Pat's labeled ice fishing safety rope bucket. This goes out with us the first time, along with a...
Every time.
Every time. But the first time with a 2x10, 10-foot long plank that we can walk out on safely and distribute the weight, and we'll take the drill with us as we go and drill holes as we go with the batter-powered drill to see what ice thickness we're looking at. So why don't you tell them, what do you like to see for ice thickness?
Well, usually 6 inches is my favorite now. When I was younger, it was a little thinner, but
we all were.
And that's why I went under. And so, but 6 inches is a good, safe ice if it's clear, and you still got to test it, because you got to know the lakes. You got to know where the springs are. If it's weak ice, you get off of it. It's very simple, and most of our viewers know that. But we just like to be safe, and we like to ice fish, though. It gets us going. We start with checking our gear. We have all sorts of gear. This is our Vexilar. Our Vexilar gives us the depth and so forth. It'll show dots on this screen where you'll see other dots on that screen, and it'll show where fish are actually active. Sometimes they might be there, they'll show them there, but during ice fishing, they can have lockjaw and not want something to eat. So
that also gives us our depth, so we know exactly how much line to put out. You want to be just above the bottom in most cases if the fish are on the bottom.
And most times they are during ice fishing, and they're around logs and stuff, and that'll show some of that stuff. But we'll get the batteries all charged up, ready to go. The other is our drill, and we got to get the battery for it. So we check our blade on our drill.
Sharp, I got it
Yep.
locked down.
You got it locked down? Good. And here, I'll let you take it off there if it's sharp. All right, we put a new blade on this last year. Actually, there's 2 blades there, and they are sharp, and that's why we cover them up. They'll cut through that ice a lot easier than we used to use old steel spuds and chop the ice, which seemed a little odd to me. We were chopping ice, standing on it, not knowing how thick it was. No wonder I went in. But no, this is a nice, just a 20 volt max drill with a good blade on it, and it takes all the work out of your ice fishing holes. I always go with a nice heavy hat, insulated hat, cover my ears.
I'm a big believer in comfort, so I have my thick boots like that, and I have insole heaters, battery powered. You just stick the insole in there and turn it on, and you got 6 hours of warm feet. And then I've got some insulated waterproof gloves also that are kind of nice when you're handling those fish out in the cold.
The thing I do with my boots, I get the old springs and put them on. You can get these at your favorite fishing store. They come on and off. I got those on pretty good. I hate to say it, but I'm 70 years old and I don't want to fall on that ice anymore. My bones don't repair for so good. So have a good grip on that ice right here. The other thing a lot of us use are these overalls. This light overalls. They're bib overalls. That cuts the wind. They're nice and thick. Then I have a nice big heavy coat just like this that goes over that.
Keep in mind too that up further north where ice fishermen are Wisconsin,
Minnesota,
Michigan,
yeah.
Minnesota, they're fishing from ice huts or tents, and they have all the comforts of home, including heat. Pat and I in our fishing group, we go out on nice days, a little sunshine, maybe a little overcast, but temperature between 20 and 35 degrees, and we're sitting out on buckets. And it's serious fishing.
How we always say is that we always put the wind to our back like a cow.
Yep.
So you ever notice a herd of cows, their wind's to the back? That's our ice fishing group. And getting into that, we have the spoon that after you drill your ice, you'll have some chips in there. You don't want it to interfere with your very light line. So we take the spoon, throw the ice chips off, and then we get into the poles. This particular one sets up by itself. Doing different lures on them, and a lot of them will use waxies or mealworms that we raise. And so I'm just sitting here talking about it. I'm getting nervous. I need to be out on that ice. So.
Well, we didn't have ice last week.
No.
So we're only a week into it.
January 3rd,
Yeah.
and I've got a call from a couple of my friends that have the ponds, and we're going to go out and check the ice. He says he's got 3 inches of ice already, and he's getting 1 inch a night. So we're going to go check it, and hopefully we have enough ice for this Saturday or Sunday. As you can see, we're out here in Victoria, one of our favorite lakes. We're going to test the ice. We got our board out. We've got our rope ready. We got Gary out here with the drill. He's the lightest one, so we're sending him out first. So we're going to test the ice here, see what we got in inches. We need at least 4.5, 5 inches to be safe. If we got more, it's better. So we know the lake real well. That's an important thing too. So let's get drilling. Let me grab the rope. Okay, check her out. Oh, I like that. I like that. Come on in, Gary. Let John get out there. Throw John. Yeah. Scoop it off the top. Yep. That way we can get a good shot with the camera. Oh, that's saying 6 to me. So we're going to keep testing on the way out. I don't care what you say, that first step on the ice is still a little eerie. But now I'm used to it. What do you got there? As we go out to the middle, we got 6.5 now. So we'll keep checking though. Now, see, now I'm gonna get particular. He's gonna get mad at me because I'm gonna tell him exactly where I want to have my hole. No. Right here, and then one right here. See, look at that. We'll go out here a little bit now. Yeah, I like that. See if those holes produce. Thank you.
Well, this one is just a little underwater camera. It's got the actual infrared lights. You just drop it down in, and you can bring it up to where you can go in the vertical or horizontal. I like to drop it down and have it just about a foot or two above my lure, and then you can just see the fish swimming around, and it's amazing. This is about, I don't know, 19, 20 foot deep out here to the bottom, and you drop down, and even when there was snow on the ice, it cuts down the light, but this thing is just amazing how it'll pick up, and it's got like a little 7-inch screen, and it's color. So anyway, I can't use the Vexilars that these guys use. I can't see the flashing lights right. I'm colorblind. And so it just frustrates the daylights out of me. So I thought, well, I'll give this a shot. And it worked out pretty decent.
I got a little tiny jig with treble hook on it, very tiny treble hook, and mealworm. I'm sitting close to the bottom. I'm about 14 feet.
I've got a little jig with mealworm on, but I got a single hook. Just testing the water out here. Now on the Vexilar, it's showing this tree, so you think you're on bottom, but you're not. You're right on top of that tree. Yeah, I think. I might have to get John's camera over here and look. Come on, baby.
See if anything's down there. Are you picking any fish up?
No, but I thought I had a bite there, but it could have been going through some weed or some tree. It's thick in here. It's right there. If I get a bite, hopefully I can get it out of the tree. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go.
Fish on.
Some of you ought to get the Vexilar, because that's a good one. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. There we go.
All right.
Little bass. Little keeper bass. Well, I'm proud of that. Let's go home, Kenny. We were good.
Yeah, Pat didn't get to go.
It don't take much for me, does it? That's what we're after, folks. Well, we'd like to get some bluegill and crappie, too, but that's about right. I always catch the first one. There's only a couple guys out here. I only get 50 cents now. Yeah, usually there's about 12 guys around. You get $6.
You owe that one to your grandson.
Yeah, I do. This is his spot, man. I had to go all the way to the bottom for that, boys.
Did you?
Yeah.
You see right here, I'm gonna jiggle it. See how it flashes red and green? That's my lure on the bottom there.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh!
I just had some swim by too.
Darn. As soon as I started bringing him up, he got off. I'll call you up next week, John. Have you get out on your tractor and clear the ice a little bit more for me.
That bony.
Yeah, the Olympics are coming up. I gotta get in practice. A little bit bigger than you thought, huh? All right, Doc. Doc got one, John.
Little bass. They're moving down there now. I can see them.
Is that off the worm or the minnow?
Worm.
Putting that worm on helps, doesn't it? Putting a new worm on.
Another one.
All right, I'll be back.
A little bigger.
A little bigger? There you go, another one. Back's on. Back's on. Oh, yeah. Good eater.
He's an eater.
There it comes.
Ooh, that's a nice bluegill.
Oh, yeah. Good bluegill. Coming back. He coming back. Well, as you could see, it's taken us some time. We've got, what, 5 fish. We've been out here a little over an hour. That's not too bad some days. Some days you don't have any.
5 fish and 2 loaves.
So we keep looking, we keep trying.
Hey Dave.
Afternoon, Alf. How are you?
Good. I was thinking about getting a handgun for my wife. She wants to have something at home for self-defense. Do you have something you could recommend?
I do. If
Okay.
you're not going to practice a lot and just buying a gun for around the house, you need to
Right.
buy something that's simple and safe and easy to use.
Okay.
A revolver is a good choice. And here's a
Okay.
couple of revolvers right here. Revolvers are inherently safe. They have a transfer bar safety. A lot of them have an internal lock, or an external lock that you can lock the action up. This particular one is a Smith & Wesson 38 Special. It's equipped with a laser grip. So if you're not a very good shot, you just put the laser on the target and that's
Okay.
where it'll hit.
And it's not too heavy for a female?
And that's another thing. You want something small, lightweight, that they can
Right.
get a concealed carry in their purse, carry in the car. It needs to be small or you're not going to carry it. If recoil is a factor, you can buy handguns of smaller calibers that are still pretty powerful.
Okay.
Here's a Smith & Wesson 22 Magnum, and then here's a Smith & Wesson 22 revolver. There's other makers besides the Smith & Wessons I have here. There's Ruger, Taurus, many different companies that make a fine quality handgun. That would be a good choice. Now, if your wife takes up shooting and target shooting and practicing, then you
Yes.
can consider a semi-automatic.
Okay.
Here's some examples of these. We have a Kimber. It's a baby 1911 9mm. We have a Smith & Wesson 9mm, a Glock 43. This particular one is a flag edition. Most of them are black or a two-tone, and that's one of the smaller ones, and then they go up from there as far as size. In a 9mm.
I sometimes go out west for hunting, and I worry about grizzly bears. What would be a good gun to deal with that issue?
41 Magnum on up. 41
Okay.
Magnum, 44 Magnum,
Okay.
500 Smith & Wesson even, but those get to be on the big side and they're hard to carry, especially if you're backpacking or something like that.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.
But ammunition is real short supply. We're getting hollow points in, full metal jackets, ammunition trickle in, which they're a lot less expensive. And but ammunition is starting to get just a little bit better. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a full selection again. I'm Dave Barth with your Sportsman's Tip of the Week.
All right, we're back off the lake. We've got fish from ice fishing, so we're gonna cook it up. Plus, we're gonna cook up some onion rings with this new beer that's being made for us. It's called Paddish. It's a premium Irish stout. So it's very creamy, doesn't leave an aftertaste in your mouth. So we're gonna incorporate that in some of our cooking. And of course, we're gonna do the fish and the onion rings in that batter today. So hang on tight, we can show you the results. Now that's the batter, what it's gonna look like when we put those onions and fish in there. It's a nice, creamy, sweet taste. Now let's go cut a couple onions up. Just slice off that. So then we take and cut a little 1/8 inch notch there. Little 1/8 inch notch there. That takes all that skin away. Done. And I'm not crying or nothing. Start with a handful. Nice ice cold. It helps when the onion's nice and ice cold. And this is just a McCormick's fish batter that we use. And I used, for every cup of batter, I used a cup of, or 3/4 cup of the Paddish. In fact, Gary, if you want, you can get the glasses down from the shelf. Say Paddish on them. Uh-oh. Yeah. Cook a little.
How many people have a beer named after themselves? This is Paddish for Pat Sullivan. It's brewed locally at what brewery, Pat?
Bearded Owl.
Bearded Owl Brewery in Peoria, Illinois.
There we go. That is. Okay, we're gonna run some fish through. These are some that we caught ice fishing the other day. Flip them once. Yeah, I got plenty of hot grease. Like it's sticking on better. Just gotta get enough to stick on.
Pat, it's starting to smell good in here.
Good, good. It's a process. I was trying to get by doing this up in the apartment, but the wife said no. Too much grease. Good. We got cheese and crackers. We got chips. Okay, we got that, guys. Here we go. We got bluegill and bass with onion rings with the patty in it, the patty beer batter. So let's see how it tastes. This is my first batch ever on the fish. The onion rings I've tasted before.
Of course.
Okay, guys. We got some guests coming too to eat.
Even better.
Yeah.
I know it's not Lark.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I like the way this timed out. I mean, literally, I just got in here just in time for
Well, I got the onion
to get
rings.
the food.
Look at that. Yeah.
If I show up late, then I get to clean up. I think that's
We were sort of talking about
that's
that.
what I gotta do. That's fine.
We got some more seasoning if you want more seasoning.
I got some Old Bay here.
We got Old
I'll
Bay.
take some Old Bay.
A little bit different than we did the other night, but they'll work. We'll go back to the original. So,
Definitely good.
nice and crispy. Okay, round two, you guys. Look at that batch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good batch of fish.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, get this out of the way.
All right. You want me to hit it with a little Old Bay?
Yeah, you can.
All right. This is the secret sauce right here. All right. Well, we'll give it a little bit of light coating and let anybody else who wants one get.
Adventure Sports Outdoors is brought to you in part by Corsall Lumber, manufacturers of quality hardwood products, buyers of standing timber in Smithfield. Central Pool Supply, everything from pools to pool tables and much more in Peoria on West Pioneer Parkway. Kelleher's Irish Pub and Eatery, located on Peoria's riverfront, open 11 a.m. daily. Eastport Marina, one of the only marinas in its class between Chicago and St. Louis, on Mariners Way in East Peoria. Goodwill, supporting our veterans with job placement assistance, health, housing, and resource referrals. And the General Wayne A. Downing Home for Veterans, all because you shop and donate. And by Lori Feld of Allstate Insurance, at their new East Peoria location, 411 East Washington Street, next to the U.S. Post Office, on the corner at the bottom of Springfield Road Hill. Our thanks to all of these sponsors.
Boy, we've had a great time, guys.
Yes.
Ice fishing, eating, yeah. And people wonder why they go north. We wonder why they all go north when we have fish right here. But we want to take the time to say thank you for joining us. And Pat Sullivan here with Adventure Sports Outdoors, filling in for Harry Canterbury. And Harry, you would love this. I know you. So thank you for joining us. And have great days fishing because we got a lot of them left.
Yes, we do.